Tiyon penatani tango tera sanji chumdinde se dongha chip demba sao se demba jine donghar chip demba shibar sao teni kumjong ke demba koren ko pamar sao sonde ngare so khamsong khorwan teni chedo samno tena dongha ma to kain yomari dongha sada chi yori ne kap deva chi yunai he koren ti ta dongha telayan teni koren tsawa dongha sam teni chaban dubji che dongha tu ta te che chap ding a teni jero dongha te ngo sam te che dongha ke ten la dongha chi tsawa dongha namba sam te ke yen la ke dongha la chewa gawa nawa chewa teni doba tang to makhar ba dongha yi do wa ta tharwa dongha a ngane so ke tindi che ke teni ngane so ke ta dongha ma ko che yori ti dongha ti nyelin je phungko nga pon de do ngo ni che ke teni do ngarwa che ke ti dongha ti khamsong khorwa khaw ne lo ri te chuni ri te kain ngane so ke che sar to se de wa che mari tini zo ta kanin sena teni te dongha sam je rang ji ji ri te teni jo yu da mi sup sin de te sab sa bo sari se de pa ta on de teni ngane so ke kom jo ke ni le de nyu mong ba ra le de yor ma to yin sa ba bo che ke te si ya si ga duk do si che ke na chu tong teni sin dong je so do bo che teni mi a te sa ngane so ke sin da ke tan teni and
in that way, the great teacher, when Buddha spoke or taught the first teaching, is Four Noble Truths. What he said first to his 5 disciples and all those celestial beings and animals, first said, must be recognized the suffering. Suffering that should be recognized. That is what really the first his teachings. This suffering is kind of like under low currents to all the time we are. We all have these sufferings. In the samsara, of course, there is also many good things ahead. But the suffering is the highlighted kind of situation in the samsara we go through. There is good things, we don't kind of highlight that, and it just goes kind of almost goes so quickly, so past, very kind of speed of light. But the sad and sufferings, something difficult that looks like stays long time. And for that reason, Buddha said, first recognize or should see the suffering. This suffering, again, there is many different things, sufferings, as in the Buddha's teaching said. And I mean, it's not just teaching said. When we want to kind of analyze this suffering situation, there's 3 major sufferings, often known as then. Those are the like all pervasive sufferings, kind of under low currents sufferings that are existing all. And there is a second suffering that's known as the changeable sufferings. And the third is then suffering over sufferings. This is always we have. In the samsara we have. That means as long as we have the duality mind, grasping and clingings, we have this thought all the time. Then beside that, there is like other sufferings. Those are known as then, such as birth, death, getting old, sicknesses. All that we go through. This again, this suffering or this like kind of unpleasant situation, that is there. That definitely is we cannot avoid. As soon as we have the birth, we cannot avoid the sicknesses. As soon as we have the birth, we cannot avoid also the getting old. And as soon as we have the birth, we cannot also avoid death. This is always there. These 3 things. All that. And beside that, then often said in the teaching, or not just the teaching, we experience it ourselves. That we said that the sufferings of the separations of the loved ones. They're separated. And then also something that unwanted things are coming one after another. And then kind of the undesirable things are coming one after another. And then also for us, the body is always something that uncomfortable or need to be always balanced. And this and that. Having separations of the loved ones. Maybe I said already. But anyway, all those are like difficulties, the change, unpleasant things that we go through that always. Beside that, then there's so many other things also kind of related. One after another comes. This is the part of the samsara. This is the part of the result of this grasping and clinging that we hold. And therefore, for that reason, Buddha said, first, must be recognized the sufferings. Then second, he said, must be avoided the cause of that suffering, cause of that pleasure, unpleasures. It's not just happening by itself. Everything what we experience, we go through, it has cause, it has conditions. By the combination of cause and conditions, then it activating that. And that's what we call the sufferings. So cause of those must be said, the all source of that must be avoided. And we don't like all these sufferings, the change. We must be also walk and deal with how to avoid that very cause and condition, so that we will be completely, totally eliminated, not just cover up things, kind of like passing through or cover up or trying to pretending that, but we uproot the very cause of that. And that's what the gracious teacher Buddha said. And for that again, when we are in the teaching or the gracious teacher, when analyzed by Buddha, when he said, this, whatever the result comes, or this suffering, it's not just developing by the no cause and no conditions. So that means it has cause and conditions. This cause and condition also not just developing something completely different than the result itself. So it's not just a kind of like strange things are developing this result. The whatever we experience or whatever the result, that correspond with the cause and condition. Cause and condition, what way things are, that exactly correspond to the result itself. They're matching. It's not just a kind of odd and end where developing something different things. It's always respond that. And it's also not somebody else doing these things and then just throwing to us. It's just it's one's own doer. If we are experiencing that must have something to do with our own self. That's where the system is. And then when we look into more that's what the great teacher Buddha said. It's all reflecting from this mind. Mind is the source of all these difficulties and troubles.